On this flight from Marshall to Kentucky, we're going to talk about two of the most popular airplanes on the market today, the Cherokee Six and the Piper Saratoga. Let's dive in. Doing a hot start. This is kind of tricky sometimes. Clear, prop.
All right, we're rolling. We're going to talk about two of the most popular airplanes on the market you can buy for family adventures. All right, let's focus on this takeoff. We got our run-up complete, so we are ready to roll. We just need mixture, landing lights, and fuel pump. Just make sure that there's no traffic around. I don't see anybody coming on the approach. All right, landing light on, fuel pump on, mixture's rich. You ready, son? Yep, here we go. All right, roll. To the right, gear up. And we're going to climb the 1000, put it on cruise, and then talk about two of the most popular airplanes that money can buy. In the world of aviation, few airplanes stand out like the Cherokee Six and the Piper Turbo Saratoga. Today we'll explore these two iconic airplanes and see how the Cherokee Six compares to the Turbo Saratoga. All right, folks, so we have reached 1000. And now we're going to go ahead and set our power here. And look at the speed, 207 miles an hour. But we're going to slow this puppy down, though. I'm very conservative on my power. I always like to fly at 65%. And there we are. So 192 miles an hour, not too shabby. We should be reaching Big Sandy in 2 hours and 45 minutes. Not too bad, not too bad. I'll take that. What about you, son? Will you take that? Or will you take 60 miles an hour on the highway?
Oh, it's pretty close, but I have to go at this.
It ain't even close. You were whining when I told you we might have to drive. I was going to drive. I was thinking about it. Had the hotels and everything reserved, but we decided to fly because this kiddo here, I want to fly. It gets there faster. And it really does. From Denver to Big Sandy in eastern Kentucky, total time flying is 6 hours and a half. So what I do is I split it in half. On the last video, we landed at Marshall. On this video, we take off from Marshall and continue on to Big Sandy. All right, good deal. Let's talk about these two popular airplanes that you always see me flying. So two of the most popular family airplanes for these flying adventures like you see me doing are the Turbo Saratoga, which is the one I'm flying now, and my Cherokee Six, which is at the hangar at Big Sandy. Two great airplanes, I tell you. I started with the Cherokee Six about 11 years ago. I got that airplane and I updated that airplane with a new paint job, new glass, all that good stuff. That airplane looks spectacular. fly, but so is this one. This one is great. The instruments on this one are outdated, but I did buy a new GPS. That's the main thing I did for now because I'm able to do GPS instrument approaches with this. So it's one of the things I wanted to update, and now I'm just contemplating what I'm going to do with this instrument panel, if anything at all. We'll see. But these are two great airplanes. What do you think, son? What's your favorite out of the two? Which one is your favorite?
I guess this one.
You guess this one? Why this one?
It's faster and also it that
I think he likes this one too because of the club seating.
yeah, that's also cool.
Yeah, he likes the club seating quite a bit. I like flying this Saratoga because of the performance. The performance is just great because it's turbo. It's not a normally aspirated airplane, which is the reason I got it. I just wanted to have the turbo experience, and mainly because I'm in Denver and we have a lot of density altitude there in the summertime. But which one is my favorite? You know, it all depends. The Cherokee 6 is great because it's a hauler. That thing there, you can haul 1,600 pounds of useful load on that. So you can load it up with fuel, which is 504 pounds. And, man, you still have about 1,100 pounds that you can distribute amongst the passengers, luggage, and all that good stuff. So with this one, you fill it up. It's got 102 gallons, and you only have under 1,200 pounds to play with. Once you fill it up, you can pretty much get away with 2 passengers and luggage, or maybe 2 to 3 passengers, no luggage on this airplane. Now, you can just, you know, compromise on fuel on this one, and it gives you a pretty good range. So that's where the differences are. But flying, like for example, long cross-country flights, the Turbo Saratoga, boy, it is much faster by comparison. Like for example, here we are doing 130 indicated, 172 knots over the ground, which equates to 198 miles per hour at 65% power. We do have a tailwind, so in the Cherokee 6, we'd probably be doing about, I'm guessing, 160 miles an hour. So all in all, it takes an hour best to fly from Denver to Kentucky in this airplane, and that's in a no-wind scenario. The advantage with this airplane is you can take it up to the flight levels, and depending on the wind scenario, you can choose the different levels for your best wind conditions, so that will get you there even faster, which is pretty cool. And price-wise, you'd be surprised. Cherokee 6 can cost just as much as a Turbo Saratoga. Like my Cherokee 6, because it's so well maintained, and I've did a lot of, I reconditioned that airplane. That airplane is worth about as much as this one, unless I recondition this one. If I put the instrument panels and all that on this one, of course, the price will increase a little more. But Cherokee 6s are more expensive in a sense because they're easier to fly, and you can still load it up with 6 passengers. It is a full 6-passenger airplane. Depending on the weight, like I said, you have 1,600 pounds to play with, so your weight and balance is important, okay? Calculate your weight and balance however you need. But sure enough, it is a true 6-passenger airplane. This one, it really isn't, unless you compromise a lot on fuel. So the 1966 Piper Cherokee 6, which is the one I own, it is a robust, reliable airplane, and very roomy as well. This one is too, of course. Same cabin, so you have the same roominess. The Cherokee 6 has front forward-facing seats on my Cherokee 6, while this one has club seating. But as far as the cabin, it is the exact same cabin. The only difference between this one and the Cherokee 6 are the wings and the retractable gears. So this one has tapered wings, which are slicker, less drag, and you can cruise a lot faster. It is great for flying at high altitudes. With the Cherokee 6, they're not really good for high altitudes. And this one actually floats more than the Cherokee 6, so the Hershey bar wing does not like to float. So your landings on that, you have to make sure that you set your powers correctly and have a little bit of power on your landings, because if you chop the power, that plane can just sink and you're gonna have a hard landing. So both airplanes, the Cherokee 6 and the Piper Turbo Saratoga, are both known for the spacious cabin. You have a lot of room on both of these airplanes, which I really like. You're not cramped up against each other. You have a lot of room, a lot of leg room. So both are very roomy. The other thing was cargo. So the Cherokee 6 and the Turbo Saratoga both have a front cargo and the baggage area. In both places, you can carry 100 pounds in the front, 100 pounds in the back, so 200 pounds of luggage. So the reason they did that, front baggage, rear baggage, is because of the CG. So that way, if your CG is forward, you can load the back and vice versa. So that's why they did that. I think it's pretty innovative. So it was pretty cool that they did that. But the front has a lot of room for baggage. And what I like about it is that because they did that front baggage compartment on both of these airplanes, you have a lot of airspace between this panel and the engine, so that gives you a quieter ride. But this turbocharged airplane, it's awesome to fly. I mean, I like that you're able to go into the flight levels if you need to, or even fly high to take advantage of the wind scenario up aloft. And if you're flying up high, though, you'd have to use oxygen. And I always keep this oxygen meter with me, you know, just to occasionally check my oxygen to make sure that I'm at the good levels, even at 1,000 feet. So you can lose oxygen even at this altitude. So I'm always checking to make sure that I'm in a safe condition. But you know, the Turbo Saratoga just brings a whole different dynamic. So this is one of the reasons I really enjoy flying this airplane. And also the retractable gear, because of the retractable gear, it makes it go faster. Once you retract that gear, man, this airplane likes to go. The other thing is that, you know, in 1984 with the Saratoga, they soundproofed it better. But when I redid my Cherokee 6, I put some nice soundproofed material in there to keep the sound in check. So if we stack them side to side and do a comparison between the two, you know, this one, I like using it for these long cross-country commutes because, like I said, you're going to get there a lot faster. And it loves performing because of the turbos. It loves performing at higher altitudes. Where the Cherokee 6, it likes to pretty much fly around 8,000, between 6,000 and 8,000 feet. If you take it any higher than that, you're going to lose a lot of power, a lot of performance on a normally aspirated airplane. But if you have a Cherokee 6, like in the East Coast, it really, in lower elevation, really, it's no problem. You're not going to really see any difference, significant difference anyway, between the two until you start taking the airplanes above 6,000 feet. That's when you're going to start noticing a slight difference in performance. And the higher you go, the better performance this one will give you as opposed to the normally aspirated Cherokee 6.
Not all Saratogas have club seating, right?
No, there's an option. So you could have forward-facing seats or the club seating. It's actually an option. And it became an option, too, in the Cherokee 6 later models, like I would say around the 67, 68, I believe. They started making club seating in the Cherokee 6 as well. So they gave you the option to do that. So here we are. We just took off from Marshall about 46 minutes ago, and we're already over St. Louis, doing 195 miles an hour. Pretty cool stuff. Flying is one of the best things I've ever done in my life, I tell you. I'm trying to get this kid here to take flying lessons. He actually flies the airplane really well, so I was going to let him land in Marshall, but we had traffic nearby. It got pretty crazy there for a minute, and I couldn't really see the traffic, so I was trying to stay away from that traffic, so I didn't let him land the airplane. So as you can see, Mr. Javier is behind the controls.
I know what I want for Christmas.
But
a booster seat so I can see over the dashboard.
So Javier is going to probably be an instrument pilot before he becomes a VFR pilot because he can't see over the dash too well, but he's been flying the airplane really well. He's got a lot of experience flying just watching the instruments. So here's Mr. Javier behind the controls, keeping us right on the money, on track. Altitude, he's holding altitude. He's been flying for quite a while, maybe, 45 minutes now? Looking good, doing good.
Okay, we'll look for him 4-2 when I can do it.
Go what I tell Javier is he needs to study. He needs to hit those books. Flying is about knowledge. All right, fuel pump comes on. We got 3 green. Big Sandy, Saratoga now short final, runway 3, full stop, Big Sandy. All right, we got 3 green, mixture prop. Landing lights are on, fuel pump sign, 3 notches coming up. All right, we made it. Welcome to Big Sandy. Put the mixture here for taxi. Go ahead and clean her up now. Fuel pump off. All right, RPM's below 13. Gotta go ahead and fill her up. All right, we can turn the landing lights off now.
All right, welcome to my hangars at Big Sandy. Whether you are Team Cherokee 6 or Team Turbo Saratoga, there is no denying that these are 2 of the best airplanes that money can buy.